Hello there, welcome back to Football-Oranje. A match reaction to Norway 1, Netherlands 1. A game which the Dutch could have won right at the death, with Dumfries nearly nicking that winner right at the end. But it wasn't vintage stuff from the Netherlands. And I think Louis van Gaal, with his first game in charge, whilst he only worked with his squad for a matter of hours, really, 2 days, I don't know whether there's a feeling disappointment amongst you watching along now this evening, or if you're watching us the day after. Regardless, do drop us a comment, whether you're watching live or whether you're watching a few days after. Put a comment on YouTube and we'll be sure to see it and we'll reply to you. And get involved with the Football-Oranje community, us English-speaking Dutch football fans. Now, Mike, what did you make of the game in terms of Van Gaal's reintroduction as Netherlands manager?
Yeah, I think it was, for me, going into this international break, I would have said I'd be happy with 7 points. That's the minimum I would take if Netherlands going to top this group. And I thought this was the game that I was most worried about was Norway away, because of the threat of Haaland up front for Norway. I just thought it was going to be one of these sticky games, Van Gaal coming in, only having a day and a half with the players before they actually played it. And I think that's how it sort of turned out, that Netherlands really struggled to create at times. They had a lot of possession but didn't really do much with it. It was very conservative at times, and I think there was a few defensive lapses. I think the goal could definitely have been prevented if the defenders were just a bit more sharp, and any chances that Norway got were from errors from the Netherlands defence, which is a worry. But I thought going forward, Netherlands were too blunt, and it's something that we've said about Netherlands constantly over the past few years, is that just going forward, you just do not create much. And I just thought the midfield today, yeah, there was moments that it was good, but it does not create enough going forward. And I thought that maybe in the second half, going towards the end, a couple of changes could have been made to try and go for the result. But I think Van Gaal he didn't settle for the draw, but he was a bit more conservative by just not making the changes. And I think that even bringing on Dumfries nearly proved to be the winner just when he got in at the end. But he only came on in the 91st minute. He didn't make any changes to midfield, and the only one he did make was Malin on for Berghuis, who I thought had a really poor first half. So first game in charge, I don't think we can take much from it because he's had so little time. And for me, it's not a disastrous result because of what happened in Turkey. I think that's probably the best news for Netherlands tonight, is that Turkey drew 2-2 with Montenegro. That means that Netherlands win the next two games, which are at home, and they go top of the group. So tonight's not a disaster. It wasn't good. It wasn't a great watch. There's a lot of things to be learned. Van Gaal's learned probably quite a lot from watching the game, and now we'll see what he changes between now and Saturday, because the next two games are must win, whereas this one was one that a draw is acceptable with. The next two, they can't be draws, they need to be wins, and we'll see how Van Gaal takes it from here.
Yeah, you pointed back the midfield. Frankie de Jong was on the ball quite a lot in the second half, and when he looked up, he didn't have much to go to. He either had to go wide, where the player was facing two Norwegian players ahead of them, or he'd look to his right, and there would be Wijnaldum really far away from him, and then there was no option. And if the ball did go to Wijnaldum, he couldn't do much because, again, he was so far away from goal that he was faced by a wall of Norwegian defenders. The result wasn't a draw because Norway sat back. It was because the Netherlands couldn't break them down. Dutch players are used to playing in sides where they have to try and break down teams that will try and defend for long periods of the game. Of course, the threat was always there for Norway in the counter-attack. And I tell you what, when Haaland hit the post, could have been 2-1. It summed up how I thought the game was going to go anyway, that Odegaard would be just behind Haaland and trying to feed him at every opportunity. And that was a perfect example where he found some space. He drew in, I think it was Van Dijk, and then he laid it on the pass to Haaland, and he was 1-on-1 against De Vrij. And if you got them isolated like that, then they're going to create opportunities. As a partnership, I didn't think they did too badly, though, Van Dijk and De Vrij, given the time they've not had together and the preparation time that Van Gaal's had with them. Wasn't that bad. There were some things that need to change, though. The wingers, it feels as though we're really short on top quality wingers. and Marlon coming on at half time for Berghuis, Van Gaal made a good decision. He had to change it, so he did. But Marlon again didn't do all that much in the second half. It feels neither here nor there, and Van Gaal's got to work with the players that he's got. But what can he do with the quality that he has got? The players that got potential, but how can someone like Berghuis be given starts over players like Marlon when his potential is far greater?
Yeah, I think that a player like Berghuis, we're singing his praises at times last season with Feyenoord, and he's gone to Ajax this summer and he's looking to kick on. But for me, his start to the season didn't warrant him to have a starting spot in the Netherlands 11 because he's been benched by Ajax at the weekend for Antony, and he hasn't really shown up so far in Amsterdam. And yeah, he didn't. He had a role in the equaliser, but he didn't do anything else in the game, and they lost the ball far too much. But we didn't see what happened in training. Maybe in training, Berghuis was on fire, and Bergwijn and Malen were just okay. So Van Gaal seen that Berghuis was on form, and it came to the game tonight, and then he just lost the ball constantly. So we don't know what Van Gaal saw. We don't know how he's going to change it for Montenegro. I'd be surprised if Berghuis starts again. And for me, he's got to look at the fullbacks as well, because the wingers and the fullbacks need to be better. I thought Timber was, he's a centre back now for Ajax, and he can play right back. But I think tonight he was sloppy at times, and going forward, Dumfries is a much better option, and David Blind as well was very, very sloppy tonight. And another piece of good news for Netherlands might be the fact that he's suspended for the game against Montenegro on Saturday, so that maybe Malacia can come in. I hope he doesn't then decide to put Ake there and start Ake at left back, because then that'll just be too conservative against. He needs to go more attacking with the fullbacks, play Malacia and play Dumfries, and try and get in behind more, because that's what Dumfries offers, and Malacia offers more going forward than Blind would as well. So yeah, there's changes that need to be made before the game on Saturday. It's just Van Gaal needs to be a bit more attack-minded other than conservative, I think.
Yeah, his choices at fullback did seem to be quite conservative, going for Blint for experience and Timber because he's a centre-back. They're good technical footballers, and Blint in particular will be good with his passing on the ball, but like you said, sloppy tonight. But given his yellow card, I think he just wants to keep playing him, and he'll probably switch to Malacia against Montenegro. Now, I asked everyone for their comments, so thank you for sending some in. Let's get some on screen, and we'll have a chat about some of these. Given that Van Gaal only had 2 days to prepare the team, it's not a disastrous performance and results. Sidon Doe sends here, Virgil van Dijk and Gini so rusty today. We could have topped the group. It's still not in our hands. We need the big win against Montenegro and Turkey. I think we slightly disagree with that. You just said, Mike, that if the Netherlands beat Montenegro and Turkey this week, they go top of the group. Is that correct?
Yeah, because the group's not changed tonight, so the Turkey are still ahead by 1 point. So if Netherlands beat Montenegro and then beat Turkey, they're going to be top of the group.
I see. Comment here saying, why didn't Dumfries start? I think it's just fitness at the start of the season for that one.
Yeah, Van Gaal's made the point that he needs the players to be 100% fit, and Dumfries hasn't played. I don't think he played at all for Inter at the weekend, and he made a short appearance in his first game as a substitute. So he's not played for 90 minutes, whereas Timber has for Ajax. So I think he went for the fitter of the two.
Okay. And a comment here basically saying what I was saying earlier about Frenkie de Jong with the passes. Just same old back inside passes, apart from de Jong, their midfield has a penetrating pass. Hope for Football-Oranje after Euros, but dejected. It's going to take a little bit longer, I think, though, to work with this squad. If Van Gaal hasn't had along with them, how can you expect him to turn it around like so quickly? But Frenkie de Jong holds a key, Mike, and what could he do differently? Or was it the players in front of him that needs to do a bit more?
Yeah, I think what Netherlands do well is they try and get de Jong on the ball as much as possible, but today he played as the deepest of the midfielders, whereas I think he needs to move a bit forward, and he needs to be that man that's taking the ball in the opponent's half and then creating. So if you play somebody like Koopmeiners, for example, then you've got two midfielders who can penetrate with a pass. So you play
Mhm.
Koopmeiners as the deepest line midfielder, and then Frankie a bit forward. Then you got two players that can pick passes out. So I think with Frankie de Jong picking the ball up in his own half at times, there is a lack of movement ahead of him. But if you can get Frankie further forward, where he can use his dribbling ability and his passing, then it'll work a bit better for me. So I think that he needs to have a better partners in midfield for him that can help him out, because you can't just rely on Frankie to do it all in midfield. He does need to have a bit of help. I thought Wijnaldum did well for the goal and Klaassen scored it, but there definitely needs to be somebody a bit more creative going forward, because we don't have Wesley Sneijder anymore. We don't have that classic number 10 who creates chances, and you're going to have to find a way going forward to get that. And I think it's pushing Frankie further up.
I think Wijnaldum and Klaassen are quite similar midfielders, and I have to play one deeper for the other one to play further forward. I wonder who else could fit there next to him. Someone like Koopmeiners, if he can really impress at Atalanta, could slot into that midfield and offer something completely different to the side next to De Jong rather than in place of him. We've got some pessimism here from Mindwave saying he remembers why he hates the international break. Hopefully he can bring some positivity in the next couple of games. Dave saying that in a drab game, our biggest attacking threat was a right back. And it's still underwhelming for him. Saeed, Marlon did nothing at all useful today. Not a single pass and kept losing the ball. Timber and Blint were horrible fullbacks. Wow. Well, yeah. Is anyone that's feeling more positive by the first game tonight? If that is you, do let us know. Drop us a comment, whether you're watching live or not. And AJ next thinks that Weghorst is only true centre forward and he has to play. But he also thinks that the two centre backs were solid. The Dutch have got a lot of good centre backs at the moment. De Ligt isn't even there, and De Vrij and Van Dijk are very good together. And another one about David Blint, so awful the left attacking side. Either he plays as a centre back or benched. I'll put one more up from John. Mr. Lit, De Vrij's too slow to react versus Haaland. A different idea there about centre backs. Surprised that Weghorst didn't make an appearance towards the end. Yeah, we were surprised by that, Mike, as well. The Dumfries came on for the last couple of minutes, and whilst he nearly scored and was impactful on the right-hand side and like the 2 minutes that he played, you'd think that if Van Gaal wanted that impact, he'd bring him on 10 minutes, 15 minutes earlier rather than right at the end. So maybe Timber was injured or something? I just was surprised by why we didn't see Weghorst 20 minutes before the end, for example. It felt like there was a right time to change things, and he didn't really do that.
Yeah, I've not seen what Van Gaal said after the game, so I'm not really sure why. Because I'm sure he's going to get asked why he didn't make any substitutions apart from the Malin one at halftime. And the question would have been, could he have taken off Gakpo and put Weghorst on for, say, 15, 20 minutes and moved Memphis out wide? Maybe that would have helped them get the goal. But again, I think that Van Gaal, I think he'll be quite happy getting away from Oslo with a 1-1 draw tonight. I think you'll see that as an okay result, especially with what's happened in Turkey. He wouldn't have known that, because for him, if he got any communication on that game, he would have thought Turkey were going to win it. So he didn't make any changes with that in mind. So that is a bit strange if he's heard that Turkey are winning and they're potentially going to move 3 points ahead in the Netherlands, why he didn't make any attacking changes to try and go out and win the game. But only he can answer that, and I've not seen his comments yet, so I don't know why, because it is a bit strange why he didn't bring on Weghorst, because it's what I would have done if you want to add something different in the box. You've got a striker who can cause mayhem with his height in there, but it didn't happen. And yeah, we just need to see what Van Gaal has to say about it. But yeah,
sure.
I think that Van Gaal's taking a bit of stick tonight, but I think we do need to realise that he doesn't get off to good starts. He didn't get wins in his first two games in his previous terms as Netherlands manager. I'm sure there's a stat where he didn't win his first game at Manchester United. He didn't win his first game at Bayern Munich or Barcelona. It takes time, and he's had 1.5 days to work with these players. So I wouldn't start saying that Van Gaal isn't the answer yet, because he's had no time whatsoever to work with these players. So we'll see if Netherlands come out of this international break having, say, beaten Montenegro, but then lost to Turkey, then yes, it's looking like a bit of a disaster. But right now, I think that 1-1 against Norway is not as bad a start as some people are making it out to be.
Sure. The pressure's on for the next two games, of course. Just want to touch upon Cody Gakpo, who made a start tonight for the Netherlands. Very exciting for many PSV fans, but also Netherlands fans as well. He was at fault for the first goal, just falling asleep, and I'm hoping that he'll learn from that experience, knowing that if you got a striker like Haaland in the opposite team, he's going to put the chance away. But what did you make of him tonight? But also David Klaassen, who got a goal. Are these guys who are still in the Eredivisie? They're not top level European players yet for Gakpo in his case. What do you make of them still playing for the Netherlands? Is Gakpo the answer long term? And or same for Klaassen as well, I guess.
Well, I love Cody Gakpo. I think he's great, and the way he started the season for PSG, I think he deserved to start tonight. And at times he was good on the left. He did create danger. There's a few chances he could have done better with, but I thought overall it was an okay performance for him on his first start. I think we've got plenty more to see from him in a Netherlands shirt, and I think he is one of the ones that for the future is very exciting, and he will have better games and he will be more decisive. And I thought he was just okay tonight. Yeah, you'll learn from the defensive lapse. I think Timber was a bit defensively lapsed for the goal as well, but I think Van Gaal will have plenty to say to him about him just walking back out the box. So I think if he doesn't know how ferocious Van Gaal can be, you will know after they rewatch the footage, and you'll probably give him a bit of the hairdryer treatment for that. But yeah, you'll learn from that, and I think there's plenty more to see from him, and I think it's exciting to have such a player coming through. In terms of Klaassen, I thought he scored tonight, and it's an okay goal, and I think at times he did okay in the midfield. But yeah, for me, if David Klaassen's the best attacking midfielder that Netherlands have, then you're not going to win a World Cup, or you're not going to beat the bigger nations, because you need somebody a bit better than that to really challenge, I think. And when you got somebody like Frankie de Jong, who's a world-class talent, you got Wijnaldum, who's great, and do things at PSG. You just need to find that third midfielder to complete it. And whether that's Koop Meiners, whether that's Gravenberch, we'll wait and see whether somebody will come through and eventually take that spot. But right now, if Klaassen's the answer, yeah, he scored tonight, but going forward in the future, I don't think he is. And we need to find that third attack-minded midfielder. Everyone would say it would be Van de Beek, but we all know what's going on with him at the moment. He's not getting any game time at Manchester United. They blocked the move away from him on transfer deadline day, and he's not an option at the moment. So until he gets back playing and playing well, Van Gaal has these players at his disposal, and right now he thinks that David Klaassen's the best answer. But if that's the same when the World Cup comes around, if Netherlands qualified, then I'd be a bit more worried about that.
Yeah, I see your point, and hopefully Gravenberch can have a really good season this season, and he can be the third midfielder there. But we're yet to see him really, really tested and passing those tests at a European top level. Champions League with Ajax this season is a big chance for him to do that. Before we move on to the Montenegro match, as a little preview, we have a few more comments coming in saying, why is Van Gaal start these guys? Berghuis, Klaassen, Blint, all happen to be Ajax players of interest. Probably bad time to show my water bowl. I'm not a fan, honest. Liam was asking if a draw was a fair result. I think it was, Liam, although Haaland did have a chance to win the match and put his strike against a post, but Dumfries also had a last-minute scrap to score. And John says it's good to see the Netherlands back in a 4-3-3. Let's move on to the Montenegro match then. It's a one that the Netherlands, you have to win these matches. It's a side who will be around the mid-table in this kind of group. So we don't need to, I guess, worry quite so much about them as Norway and Turkey in this group. But the pressure suddenly comes on if they can't win this match. What kind of things do you want to see, Mike, then, I guess, knowing that it'll probably be a win? What kind of things do you want to see Van Gaal do in preparation for the Turkey match, which is massive, massive, massive?
Yeah, see, I'm not going to rule out Montenegro as just no hopers at the moment because they do have 7 points and they did beat Norway in Norway and they
Got a
drew
draw against
in
Turkey.
Turkey
Yeah.
tonight in Turkey, and Netherlands got absolutely thumped in Turkey. So I'm not going to say that I'm just going to expect that Netherlands beat Montenegro easily, because they do have some very good players, especially in midfield. I don't think he played tonight, but Jovetic plays for Montenegro. He might be out. He doesn't seem to be in their squad tonight, but I think they have got players that can punish Netherlands if they're not at their best. So what I want to see from on Saturday is that Netherlands put in a dominating performance and win by 1 or 2 goals and get those goals early in the game, take the scruff, get game by the scruff of the neck, attack, and show some form in front of goal that we didn't see tonight. We didn't see enough fluidity in the attack, and it's the same against Turkey. You know, when they come up against Turkey this time, they're going to have Van Dijk back, and you got to feel that they'll have a better understanding of Burak Yilmaz than they did in Turkey. They're not going to let him just run riot. So, two defensively solid performances and more from the attack is what I want to see in the next 2 games because they are must win for me. And I think that if they can beat Montenegro, that'll give them confidence going into the Turkey game. But I think the Turkey game could be a bit of a nervy one because I think most people will be going into that game. If Netherlands beat Montenegro, then that game starts to look like it could be a crucial one for who wins the group. So it's going to be a nervy one, but it's up to Netherlands now. It's in their hands. They've got to win these 2 games, and Van Gaal's got to work with the players, make sure that they're confident going into these games and that they win them. But we're seeing some strange results. Tonight around, I think, was it France drew with Bosnia at home. Portugal needed 2 last-minute goals to beat Republic of Ireland. So there's no game in international football now. It's just a definite 100% win when it comes to these sort of nations like Turkey, Norway, Montenegro. So Netherlands just need to be switched on for both of them, defensively sound, and take their chances and create plenty of them. And we hope that if things aren't going well, then Van Gaal makes positive changes to try and go for wins.
But a brilliant chance, though, to play more attacking fullbacks and to see Malacia earn his first cap for the Netherlands. Probably see Dumfries back at right back. We all know what he can do in an Netherlands jersey in an attacking sense. I guess Bilo remains in goal. He was decent enough tonight, and hasn't done it wrong. But I wonder if he'll do something where he'll swap him out for Drommel or something, but most likely Bilo.
I thought he did very well tonight. The only one thing that Van Gaal could do, and I hope he doesn't, because he's stuck with it tonight, and he said that the players wanted to stick with it, so he's stuck with it, and it's the 4-3-3. But it's easy for him to do that tonight because De Ligt was out. Once De Ligt is back, does he then go back to 5-3-2 and then say, look, we played 4-3-3 against Norway, the wingers didn't perform, and now we need to go back to 5-3-2, and De Ligt's going to come into the 11, and he's going to play, say, Memphis and Bowen up front with Dumfries and his attacking fullbacks.
Does that work, though, because the 3 centre-backs are all defending centre-backs? They're not really ball-playing centre-backs. You haven't got Frenkie de Jong, for example, sitting in the 5, nor David Blind sitting in the 5. Do you think it worked better if you had one of those there instead?
For me, it would. I think a back 5 with Van Dijk, De Vrij, and De Ligt is solid defensively. Maybe not the best in the ball, although Van Dijk he can spread the play around.
Yeah, he's brilliant, isn't he? So he can do a lot of things.
Yeah, he can do everything. So if they've got those 5 at the back and Frenkie there as well, but if you're going to play 5-3-2, now Frenkie there, the midfield needs to push up forward. You need to get Frenkie more forward as well. So I hope he doesn't. I hope he sticks to 4-3-3 the next 2 games, but I wouldn't be surprised if when De Ligt comes back, he then decides that 5-3-2 is the way and he blames this game for why he's changed it.
And the wing-backs have to be good too. Dumfries has done brilliantly in the past. It's up to Malacia to take that spot at left wing-back if that is something that Van Gaal decides to do. I think we saw, I tweeted about this a bit recently, how Wijndal had a chance at the Euros, didn't really take it. He's someone who likes the ball on the ground. He's very good at overlapping a winger and offering an option, whereas Malacia is a bit different to that. He likes to go to the byline and put the ball back. He likes to cross from like a deep position too. A very different left back and also a very tenacious one. Bit short, so I think that, you know, if he's at the back post and Haaland sticks to him, for example, that could be tricky. But someone who's a rather different, and if he takes it like a duck to water at the international level, he could be the new left back. It's like Bijlo, for example. This is his chance to be the #1 goalkeeper of the Netherlands. This is a massive chance for those two final guys to stake their claim.
Yeah, I think Bijlo was great today. The save he made in the first half against Haaland was very good, and he didn't put a foot wrong today. So with Malacia, I think he was a bit unlucky that going into the international break, he had his worst game that he's had for Feyenoord in a long time against Utrecht, and he got absolutely bullied by Utrecht.
He did.
And he had an awful game. So I think that going into the international break on the back of that didn't do him any favours.
No.
But other than that game there, he's been excellent for Feyenoord recently, so he needs to put that behind him. But if he does play, he can't just be making rash challenges in the box like he did against Utrecht and giving away penalties. So Van Gaal will work with him and get the best out of him, and he is one of the left backs that I want to see in the Netherlands because he has definitely a bright future ahead. But we'll see what Van Gaal does Saturday. I want to see Malacia in there, so we'll see if he does it. You know, he did say that Wrench, who was in the stands today, was called up because he can also play left back.
Yeah,
we'll see if that's true and see who he picks at the left position on Saturday.
Sweet. Well, we've got plenty more to come on Football-Oranje. Full-time streams coming after the Montenegro match, after a Turkey match. You can join us again then. Plenty more as well on the website, football-oranje.com. Mike's about to give his player ratings after the game, so you can see who he would give the Netherlands man of the match to if you think anyone would deserve that tonight, Mike. A high rating. You have to go and find out about that. If you enjoy what we do at Football-Oranje, do give us a like here and right now, and subscribe if you're new. We'll content English language on here. I would also ask you one more favour, if that is possible, please. I've put a link in the description, and if you didn't know about this already, here it is. And if I've said this to you twice already, then I'm sorry you've had to hear it again. But we're in the final of the Football Content Awards. We've been nominated thanks to you. We've been nominated in 2 separate categories. I'll put the names below so you can know where to vote. It's very easy to do, and it would mean so much to myself, to Mike, if you can vote for us. We've been nominated for the Best International Podcast, but also Best Club Content Creator International, because of the stuff that we do for Dutch national team and the Eredivisie. So if you agree and you think that we deserve to be in that final, deserve to win, then you can vote for us there in both those categories. Thank you if you do, and thank you if you nominated us as well. It meant a lot when we heard about it. So again, give us a like, subscribe if you're new, and we'll be back very, very soon. And hopefully onto a win against Montenegro. What's your prediction, Mike?
Always be positive and go for a 3-1 win.
I'm going to go 2-0, keep a clean sheet. That'll be really important under Van Gaal. And hopefully a debut from Malacia. That'd be good to see. So bye for now.